You alright, lads? Welcome to episode 4 of the Isocast. I've taken a couple of weeks out. I've been focusing on some other things, but we're back on the Isocast. I'm going to try to get more of these out more consistently. Today we are with a very special guest. We're with the one, the only. It's Miss Sophia Booth, everybody.
Yes, let's go!
This is not going to be a serious podcast at all. I can just tell. Oh no!
I mean, you have got me on.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
What do you expect?
How have you been doing? Anyway, how's quarantine been for you?
I mean, I've been working, so it's just been normal for me, really.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to ask you about that. We'll get onto that later. But
Okay.
how, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much have you been enjoying lockdown? 10 is like it's sick, you actually like quite enjoy it in comparison to normal life. 1 is oh my fucking god, can't deal with this, get me out.
Like a 3.
3, yeah.
Because my sleeping pattern's bad.
that's facts. You know, I've been getting up
can't
like
see
really
anyone.
late. Yeah, it's not great. But
It
I
is
mean,
not.
like, we don't really have a choice, do we? And they're
No,
releasing
yeah,
they're releasing
I
some of the
agree.
rules. I don't know if you've seen.
I don't agree with that yet.
I don't agree
I
with
do
it yet
not agree
either.
with that yet.
Why don't you agree with it yet?
Well, the death rates are still quite high.
Yeah, they're still incredibly high.
I know they're lowering, but
They're lowering, but that doesn't mean that they're not still extremely high. They're just slightly lower than they were before. Yeah,
Yeah,
I do
exactly.
completely agree. We are now the highest death toll in Europe as well,
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
mental. Like, to think that, like, back at the start of this, when everyone was talking about Italy and Spain and how it was, like, really bad down there,
I didn't
we've
even
now...
think we were gonna get it. I
Yeah.
was like, we're probably gonna get it, but not like that bad.
Well, I don't know. It's because like I thought that we'd learn from how badly Italy had it. I thought you would have thought that our
Definitely.
government would have seen what had happened to Italy and got it under control quickly, just in case that happened. But you know,
Yeah.
You can't
But we were a
stop-
lot luckier than them, though.
we're luckier than them in the sense that it's like it's kind of spread out all over the country, whereas in Italy it was in like a really confined space. So there was in certain areas, mate, there were like dead bodies on the streets. And
Yeah,
things.
no, yeah,
like,
no.
In Italy, like in some specific areas, it was really bad in a way that it isn't here. But at the
Yeah,
same
but-
time, yeah.
We have the better NHS, which is a good thing.
Yeah, but I mean, it did take a pandemic for people to realise how underfunded it is. But
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
this
definitely.
has been a much more serious intro than what I expected with
I know,
you.
yeah, we went from like literally just taking. Wait, I can't swear. Taking the mic.
You can if you want.
Oh, okay. I don't want to get you demonetised.
No, it's okay. It's a podcast. It's fine.
Yeah, but like dollar. Get the
Yeah, no,
get
no,
the
I-
dollar, sis.
I try, but I mean, I've sworn in all the other ones and I've stayed monetised. That's the weird thing.
No, you still get monetised. I think your CPM lowers.
You see, yeah, your CPM does lower, but I mean, like talking about like YouTubers saying if they say like one slightly offensive word in the entire video gets demonetised. I don't have that. Like,
Oh no,
what?
I hope not, because all my videos, I swear in all my videos.
Yeah, there's swearing in some of my videos as well, but they just don't get demonetized. I think it's mainly for YouTubers that are like in the spotlight. That like
Yeah,
they'll have
yeah.
if someone gets a lot of views, they're more likely for the algorithm to pick up on it because there's traction on that video. Is
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
found.
that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about YouTube because obviously you've been doing YouTube for quite a while. I wanted to ask you like, how did it kind of all start for you? Like, what got you into making videos? What got you into the community and everything?
Okay, well, if we count in like long time ago, I used to make them Weevil videos, and I think they're deleted now. But I tried to find them, I can't find them. But one of them, Mum and Dad are just shouting at me in the background of one of them, and you now I just go, "Shut up! I'm trying to record a YouTube video."
Yo, that type of stuff has the potential to go viral, like especially when it's kids doing
Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah.
It's when it's unintentionally funny that it gets traction.
It was on my dad's account, but I literally cannot find it anywhere.
Wait,
I
so
think
hang
I
on.
deleted them.
You were a Bin Weevils YouTuber,
Yeah, but then I literally stopped, and
so
then
not even like a YouTuber, like a commentary YouTuber
no,
that
I
decides to make a
wouldn't. I
Bin
wouldn't
Weevils
show my
video.
face.
You
I
were-
recorded it with my phone. That's how I screen recorded it.
So you devoted your entire channel to Bin Weevils.
Yeah,
That is sick.
Bin
I
Weevils
actually,
was great.
I actually have a lot of time for that. To be fair, it was a very good game. So then,
Yeah,
how
and
did
then-
you manage to transition from that into like what you do now?
In I think it was year 9, I used to heavily be into YouTube.
Hmm.
Like I used to Joe Sugg and like Casper Lee and all that.
Yeah.
Mate, banging. And then I was like, you know what, I'm going to make a channel. So me and my friend were on FaceTime and we was going to make a channel.
Mhm.
And then she kind of snaked me out a little bit and went and told everyone before I posted on it.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, I'm not going to make one now, because like at that point I literally had just been bullied and I was like, I don't want to get bullied again. And then it got to end of A-levels. Not end of A-levels, end of GCSEs. So I was in year 12 and I was like, you know what?
Wait, end of GCSEs?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be year 11?
Well, no, it was more going into year 12.
Oh, I get you.
Fine. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it because I really wanted to do it.
Nice one.
So that's when I actually posted.
I rate that. I mean, like, I think a lot of the time when people do YouTube in school, like, I feel like I've already mentioned this on a podcast, but whatever, I'm going to say it again. Like, I think people who make videos in schools, like, when, especially, like, lower down the school, like, year 7, 8, 9, those type of years, usually it does just come down to being a bit, like, a fan of these massive YouTubers and just thinking, I'm going to do that myself. Yeah. And then I think it kind of takes a while of actually doing it to realise that it isn't that easy.
Definitely.
And I think, I think that's why a lot of people start though, especially people our age. Like, having grown up with the likes of Joe Sugg, like watching them, most people are like, I know Joe Sugg used to be your favourite. Yeah, but I think there's a reason for it. Like, he's just like especially back in the day, he was like the golden boy of YouTube, wasn't he?
He was great back in the day.
Everything about Joe Sugg is just like perfect. Like, as far as I'm aware, he could be like manufactured in a factory just to be the perfect YouTuber.
Fully. There was nothing wrong with him.
There's nothing wrong with him, and I don't think he's ever said anything by mistake that he shouldn't have said. Like, everything about him just flows perfectly, and we're deep throating him at this point, but I love Joe Sugg.
I would. No, I'm joking.
Anyway, okay, moving on. I wanted to ask you, so like, obviously people, like, a lot of kids in school will start like YouTube channels and stuff just to try to get big, and then often like stop, or they will keep on making videos, but they'll never really sort of like become really part of the YouTube community, I guess. Like, as far as, ever since I've known you, when I very first met you, it felt to me like you were like already right in the sort of core of the YouTube community, which I know you probably might laugh at, but like it felt like that. So like, how did you like meet people on YouTube and sort of start to like have a sort of YouTuber circle?
So what happened was, as we know, Sophia Tries was a thing. Big Stan account.
Yeah. How many followers did you have back when you were a Stan?
I was on like 1.1k.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was quite, I don't want to say popular, but like, you know what I mean.
I get what you mean. Yeah. You were like one of the known Stans. Like in every sort of like Twitter community, there's a couple of those people that are just like, they're not famous, but people just know their account. Was that sort of you?
Yeah. So like Phoebe, she didn't know that I was Sophia Tries, and she's like, "Oh my god, I really wanted to follow you, but I was really scared of you." And I was like, "Oh."
Yeah.
So that happened, and then obviously I was heavily into watching like Alex and Will and Steven and the commentary lot and blah blah. So, I made a channel, and then we were at Twatty Live. And I was like, I was just telling him about it, and he was like, "Oh, let me sub," but the person there was like, "Come on, hurry up."
Yeah.
So he was like, "Are you going to Insomnia?" And I was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "Just show me Insomnia and I'll sub then." So I went to Insomnia and I was like, "Oi, subscribe to me," and he was like,
and he remembered you.
That. Yeah, he knows my name.
I mean, like, I know that he knows you now, but like, just from that one interaction, he knew you back then, did he?
He knew me from the time we matched outfits on accident.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
And then he just knew me from that, and I was like, okay.
That's
like with my old Stanat, he used to know my old Stanat.
Yeah. That's gas,
and
you
then,
know.
Yeah, it's like he turned around to me. I tweeted him as a joke. I was like, "Match outfits with me again, I dare you." And he turned around to me. He's like, "I purposely didn't wear a hoodie and a denim jacket just to annoy you." I was like, "Thanks."
I feel like Will's someone that's really good with like interacting with his fans. Like maybe not quite as much anymore, which I guess that isn't necessarily like him changing it. It's just obviously like his channel's got bigger.
He's quite not active on Twitter, but like if you go meet him in person, he's the loveliest person.
I've still never met him. I mean, I spoke to him one time at Upload event. Well, I say speak to him. It was like the thing where like where you like stand up and you give him the mic. Yeah. So it was that, but like I've never like met him. But yeah, he seems he seems very nice. He has a very nice vibe around him.
Like, yeah, when he like subbed to me, that got me quite a bit of subs because he tweeted it. Like, he replied to my tweet with it. Of course, he put notifications on as well. And then all my, like,
Well, that's the thing, like, all it needs is that, like, if one like, big YouTuber replies to your tweet, that suddenly puts you on so many more timelines than you would have been otherwise.
Yeah,
so
yeah, exactly.
This is the thing that I've found, that at this point YouTube sort of is just like, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Like if you know the big YouTubers, you're basically already set. Like
it's well, like, obviously I was friends with Molly and she was quite a big like James stan.
Of course, yeah.
I was in a group chat with James and Molly, and then shout out Ligma Virgins, big up. And then I just remember him, I was like, and he was like, anything about YouTube tweets, he'll put it in the group chat and be like, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do. You need to do this, to do that, to blah blah. And like every time I hit a milestone, he's like, oh, congrats and all that. So that was really nice.
James 100% understands it because he's fairly new to YouTube. Like,
yeah,
I feel
definitely.
like if you spoke to someone like, I don't know, people like the Sidemen, if you spoke to them about like coming up on YouTube, like, don't get me wrong, they're obviously like experts when it comes to like knowing what gets clicks and stuff because they've succeeded at it for years.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of like knowing how to grow in the algorithm as a small channel, I don't know if they'd be the best help because they've been through that in a very different era of YouTube to what it's like now.
It's so much harder to grow now than what it was.
Exactly, it's so hard now.
The algorithm's like just really weird. And then obviously because there's so many people now on the platform, because it's grown so much, like, it's just they wouldn't really understand how to actually become a big channel out of it.
You have to do a lot more now to sort of like rise above everyone else, otherwise you will just get seen as someone who's like one of so many people that's doing exactly the same thing. It's like, if you picture like sort of small commentary YouTuber, it's young white male rants about Belle Delphine. It's like there's so many people that do that you can't.
Commentary's died now.
Commentary is
Massively.
dying, which is mad to me because I thought that the concept of having a laugh and taking the piss out of people on a video, I didn't think that concept could ever really die, but it doesn't get the same views as it did before.
It's because it got a rinse. Like, the commentary channels that are big now are fine, because obviously they've got their fan base, they've got this and that, but if you want to become a commentary YouTuber now, it is really hard to do. You have to be original.
You have to be, and that's the thing that scares me, because it's like you do have to just find your niche. You have to find something that only you can do and no one else, which is like something that I'm yet to find. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about it, but I feel like it's just YouTube is tough now. But that's what I mean about someone like James Marriott gets that because he's had his come up on YouTube a lot more recently than people like KSI. Like,
it's like he used to be like fans of like all of them.
Yeah,
and now he's friends with all of them. He finds that mad.
The other thing that I find mad is you know, Nico. Because have you seen how much of a little Sidemen fan he used to be?
Yeah,
like in the same way that I like, if I saw like the Sidemen out in public, I would go get a picture with them and I would just be a little fan.
100%.
In the same way that Nico used to be, whereas now Nico's sort of up with them. It's crazy.
But he's like friends with them, mate.
Yeah.
Even though he told us he didn't have any, but
it's like, I don't have any friends. I don't have any friends.
I was just sat there like, okay.
What a video. That, well, you were just sat there like, okay, because your mic was on mute.
Alright, shut up.
Oh, that was beautiful. For anyone who doesn't know, if you haven't watched my most recent video, which is out at the point that you're watching this, we managed to...
It wasn't.
It will be. We managed to get Nico in a Zoom call, obviously. Sophia was on mute the entire time he was there.
I was speaking to Zach and I was like, why is he ignoring me? And I was like, oh!
I've had that on calls before where I'm talking to people and then no one says anything and I'm just like, am I just being ignored? And then I realise I'm on mute.
I was like, why are you drinking in the street? And I just thought he was fully ignoring me, and then I was like, oh. So then I asked him again and he just sneakily drank.
Class. Yeah. So like, talking about how YouTube has changed and how like once upon a time you could just sort of make like Insomnia Day 1 vlog and it would get views, and like you can't really do that anymore.
Unless you're famous.
So, unless you're famous, yeah.
Like if KSI posted it, you'd get views.
But even the famous people aren't really doing that anymore because like the demand for like good YouTube content has moved on now.
There's vlogging, and then there's actually doing good vlogs.
I think there's a difference between what vlogging once was and what vlogging is now.
It's changed.
It's not even necessarily a difference in the content. Like, you can watch like a Logan Paul vlog and it is just essentially what vlogging used to be a while ago. It's just the thumbnails and the titles kind of brand it as if it's a challenge video because that's what gets promoted on YouTube now. It's a weird one. But yeah, no, I wanted to ask you, since obviously YouTube's changing very much, what videos do you like really want to make? Like, if you could choose like one sort of genre of content to go down, like what would it be?
So Well, you know quite a lot of my video ideas at the minute.
Yeah, I do. I mean, I know, but I'm asking for the sake of the viewers.
But I wanted to do more, you know, like Zach and Jay kind of videos and stuff.
Yes.
In a way,
yeah.
you know what I mean. Like they're currently doing so good on YouTube, like them kind of videos.
I don't really think there's one like sort of term for those videos. Like the way I sort of describe them usually would be sort of like public stunts. Like before lockdown, what they were doing like out and about, where they like sneak in places and things. It's like big public things. Like, mate, honestly, like I'm scared to do it, just in case.
I'm scared to do it, but I really want to do it.
The idea of it, like I have so much respect for YouTubers that like put their almost like. I know that you'd be unlikely to get like a criminal, like an actual criminal conviction from doing things like that. You'd more likely just get a slap on the wrist, be like, "Don't do that again."
Yeah.
But even
They
so,
could
like
get
the idea of getting
arrested,
the idea of getting in trouble with actual police over a YouTube video, that scares me.
Wow.
Well.
I did, Tom.
I forgot about that. I forgot about that one. But that wasn't even us doing a video that we thought it could happen. It never occurred to us that we'd get arrested for that one.
Yeah, that was quite, well, not arrested, but that's just a clickbait title.
Yeah, no, but it never occurred to us that it would there'd ever be anything wrong with selling loom bands in London.
Well, it was more a video in outside Buckingham Palace, but... what I don't get is that you can take photos. So why can't you take videos?
I don't know. I think it's the moment it looks like you're actually sort of like filming content that could actually be used for something other than just like a family photo album. I think that's probably when they start to have issues with it.
Probably just because you have to get a permit. They just probably want money, don't they?
Yeah, I guess. But if you haven't watched that video already, go onto Sophia Booth's channel. I got arrested for selling loom bands. I cannot believe you managed to get that.
That's my favourite video.
Like, I rate that. I think it's probably my favourite video of yours.
I don't really like commentary anymore. I really regret posting commentary videos, but I was doing my A-levels, so I couldn't really do anything else.
Yeah, so your A-levels have been cancelled.
Yes.
That's something else I wanted to ask you about. Like, how does that feel? Do you sort of just
it feels
feel
like
kind
I've
of a bit
had
purposeless?
all
like?
this pressure put on me, and it's just not gone anywhere. Because obviously, like, you know, because you've done GCSEs, but after your GCSEs, you're like, oh, thank God. But like A-levels, it's just like, it's just gone nowhere.
I don't know, like, but I feel like even when you actually do the exams, it can be a bit of an anticlimax. Like, I remember after my GCSEs, going through like all of the revision, all of the exams, like waiting for results day. You go into results day, and it's a sheet of paper with a bunch of numbers on it, and it's like that's it. Like in that respect, I feel like it's kind of a bit of an anticlimax, even if you do the exams.
Yeah.
So let alone the anticlimax of just suddenly not having to do them. It's just like it's all over. Like it sucks. It really this whole situation just does suck, doesn't it? Like
the only problem I have is that I wanted to do a gap year this year, so I just didn't want to go uni for a year, so I can like focus on YouTube and focus on getting money.
Yeah.
But now all this has happened. My teachers are saying it's going to be a lot harder to get into uni next year.
Yeah, I think the ideal situation would be if you're in year 13 now, you get a place in September and then you defer it a year. So it's like you've got that guaranteed place. But you just
because
defer
of the
it.
whole thing, they've offered me an unconditional, so I can't defer that.
Wait, where have you got an unconditional?
Edge Hill, but basically I didn't really want to go there.
Sick.
So my teacher literally just went to me, accept it because we don't know what's happening and you have to accept it by tonight. So I was like, oh. So
Fair
I accepted it, not wanting
to
go there.
Is there a chance that you might get into anywhere else?
Yeah. So I want to go Ravensbourne. I've made up my mind. I want to
Yeah.
go there, and that's CC and a portfolio. That's the word. So that's fine. I can get into that one.
Okay.
So.
Well, at least you've got at least you sort of know what you're doing vaguely. Like, there's probably a lot of people in your year that just have absolutely no clue what they do in this situation.
Exactly.
No, I do feel for your year group. I really do.
I feel for your year group as well, though, to be fair.
I think it is long just knowing that I'm gonna still have to do my A-levels because my exams are still gonna be on next year. But it's like I've missed out a huge chunk of school. So a lot of the stuff that we're doing at the moment is stuff that I've purely had to just self-teach myself.
Well, to be fair, the good thing is you're getting prepared for uni because at uni it's quite a lot like that.
I guess, yeah. Yeah, there's always a positive
if you've not ever had it at school, they're like, yeah, well, you've got to learn this because in uni they make yourself teach. I used to get that all the time.
Well, when teachers like don't give a due date on the homework, but then they still say that you have to do it. It's like, well, at uni you got to just get on with that stuff on your own. Yeah.
And they're like, you won't get any support. I'm like, all right, won't ask you next time. Jeez.
Yeah, no, it's kind of long, but school in general for me is just like my mind is kind of focused on YouTube, and I know that it's very early. It's very early to say that when my channel isn't very big. Well, it's not very big at all. It's very Sorry, what were you gonna say? I was just going to say it's very early to sort of be fully in the YouTube mode when I'm obviously not making enough money to live off it, and I'm obviously like not doing enough to have a big enough audience to be able to do that. So it's very early to commit to that and sort of disregard school. So that's why I'm obviously trying to keep all my options open. But YouTube is the one thing that really motivates me when I don't really have motivation to do schoolwork.
See, my problem is as soon as I started up my channel. This is as soon as I stopped doing my homework, I stopped doing anything on due dates, just completely just lost it with school. Right. So my teachers were pulling me in like, what's wrong with you? Is my mental health bad? Blah blah blah. And I was literally like, no, I just can't be bothered with it. I weren't so much I couldn't be bothered, but I just couldn't be like, yeah, I've got a YouTube channel.
Well, that's the thing, like, schools don't get the whole YouTube thing because they understand, like, when they talk about, like, what job do you want to do when you grow up, they're talking about jobs that you can go and get a uni degree in and then proceed into the job. Like, the whole idea of making money online is something that a lot of people are never going to understand, and I don't even think it's that much of a generational thing. Like, obviously our generation understands it more. There's still probably people our age that if you say that you want to be a YouTuber when they're older, they're like, oh well, my daddy told me I wanted to be a doctor, so that's what I'm going to do. Like, it's never going to fully be like a fully accepted thing because it's not academic, and there's always going to be like the academics of the world that will tell you that that's not the best career path. But you know, say what you want about it, but like, top YouTubers are making quite a lot of money, so
definitely. It's like my mum turned around, she's like, oh, YouTubers, mum doesn't know about my channel by the way, but she's like, oh, YouTubers make a lot of money for doing nothing. I was like, they don't exactly just do nothing.
They don't do nothing, and that is the mentality that has to stop. The idea that it's like hard work. You wouldn't look at a TV presenter and say you make money for doing nothing, would you? But their job is actually very similar to being a YouTuber. Yeah,
just that they don't have to do the editing and the scripting and the thinking.
Yes, in that respect, YouTubers do more. Exactly. Yeah, YouTubers do more, mate. Unless you've got like a script writer as a YouTuber, which, first of all, if you have a script writer as a YouTuber, at that point the creative side of it isn't even you, realistically, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
So if you do have a script writer on YouTube, then cool, do your thing. But in my opinion, that does kind of ruin the essence of being a YouTuber.
I agree with people having editors. Personally, I wouldn't have one because obviously, like, I enjoy editing, but like, I agree with people doing that because like big YouTubers, they want to get on with lives and do this and that. But like script writers, just literally, is it even your channel?
Yeah, that's like, the exact same. I 100% agree with that. Like, when you're a big YouTuber, when the output becomes so big that you can't edit all of your own videos, I think at that point it's fair enough to get an editor when you're making too many videos to be able to keep up with. Yeah. But for me personally, I'm going to cling on to editing my own videos for as long as I can. Yeah, because same. In my opinion, that is a fun part of the process of it.
Yeah, I really enjoy editing.
So do I.
Really nerdy, but like, I just do.
No, it's not nerdy at all. I love it. Like, it's just sort of like a good way to fill time, because other than doing my homework and other than eating and sleeping, it's like, well, what else can I do to fill my time during lockdown?
Exactly.
Can edit videos.
Well, for me, I work, but like,
Yeah, well, I mean, I actually wanted to ask you about that. That's a nice segue into this.
Okay.
So you're technically a key worker, which is mad to think. So you're technically the backbone of our society.
Apparently as well. Apparently a class as frontline as well.
Frontline?
Apparently. Not like frontline as in like, army.
Like the army, yeah.
But like, you know what I mean.
Sorry, I just pictured you like on the front line of that.
No, it's supposed to be frontline key worker or something.
Yeah. So, since you're technically a key worker, what's it like working? So you work in a shop, yeah?
Yeah, I work in big old home bargains.
Lovely, home bargains. We love to see it. What's it like working during this pandemic? Is there like sort of like regulations to make sure you don't go near anyone and stuff?
So obviously you're not supposed to go near customers, but like staff, it's really hard not to go near them. So like social distancing kind of has to go sometimes. like, there could be like 5 of us on the cage and there's nothing we can do because there's no other work to do if delivery hasn't came.
Yeah.
So, like, social distancing from work colleagues, we obviously try our best to, but, like, we can't in all situations. But then, like, customers, we try and stay away from them. But some customers just decide to barge past you.
Yeah.
And, they just really do my head in sometimes.
I find it mad the number of people that aren't, like, not that they're not aware, but people who don't really seem to care about the fact that it's lockdown. And
Really
I'm not even just talking about people that are going out and meeting up with each other. I'm talking like what you just said about people like barging past and things. It's like when I walk down Tesco sometimes, and there'll be people in there that just do not care and will come up right next to you to pick up an item right next to you. It's like you could have just waited. Like,
it's like sometimes I've had to get close to a customer, but I'll just go, excuse me, can I like just get past? Because obviously I don't want them to be like, oh my god, why are you going near me? So obviously I'll give them a pre-warning and all this and that I'm coming past. But
yeah, I mean, as long as you give warning, like I go out running every couple of days, and like a lot of the time you'll have like people sort of like running towards you, and it's that weird thing where it's like one of you will run out onto the road, or you'll both run out onto the road at the same time to try to avoid each other. And it's just always like such a kerfuffle to the point where sometimes you do just end up like going too near people. It happens, it's risky.
But like, as long as you're being safe about it, you're fine.
I think what a lot of people need to understand is the fact that the 2 metre rule is for when there is literally no choice but to go that close to people. It's not necessarily that you can go sit in a park with your mates and sit all 2 metres away from each other, so it's fine. Because
the whole saying is... Go on.
Sorry, go on.
Go on.
Oh, okay, alright, I'll go on. I was saying, like, if you go and meet up with your friends and still stay 2 metres away from each other, you're creating a social situation when it's not there.
Yeah,
so in that respect, it isn't social distancing.
Exactly. And then
what were you going to say?
But the general saying is 2 metres where possible.
Exactly, where possible. It's like if there is absolutely no choice and you have to stand near people, like what you're saying at work.
Okay,
like
at work.
That has to happen.
Yeah.
But then it's also like if you don't need to go within 2 metres of people, don't do that either.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like the 2 metre rule isn't like a sort of target. It's not as if like, right, I'm going to try to be within 2 metres of people at all times.
Yeah.
If you get what I mean, it's a weird one. Yeah.
It's like as well, you know, with the whole VE Day thing.
Yeah.
You know how loads of neighbours were having party food, but like they're all sharing it.
Yeah.
I was
that's
literally
what
there, like, what are you doing? Like, my mum wanted me to do it, and I was like, no. I was like, I refuse to.
Yeah, so as we're recording this, just for the people listening, yesterday was VE Day. It's obviously been 75 years since the end of the war. So a lot of people, if you're not British, you might not have known about this, but a lot of people were having parties. He's won the Britain, but a lot of people were probably having parties in their front garden. We did, but we stayed within our front garden.
Yeah, same.
So it's just the thing I don't understand is like, okay, I get that. Obviously, we have the right to celebrate that because it is a big landmark. It's a big milestone in like British history.
Yeah.
But we're still in lockdown. Like the number of people that I saw like going and sitting in their neighbours' gardens and drinking and stuff. It's like after a couple of drinks, you will forget that it's a lockdown. Like it doesn't take much to sort of just like in that situation. It doesn't take much to forget the fact that we need to be away from each other.
It's like my friend lives in my street, so obviously I went. Like, not to see her, but like it was social distance because she was in the street at the same time, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So obviously I seen her, I was like, oh, are you alright and everything, and obviously we kept our distance, but like there was a few times like I nearly went to go over and went, no, because obviously you do forget, so like after a drink you're definitely going to forget.
I think that's what must be so frustrating about people who are like in relationships at the moment. It's like you would really just want to like go see that person, but you just know you can't.
You can't.
Like
it's Go on.
I was just going to say, like, it's tough, but it's not like a dilemma. It's like, you don't do it. No matter what, you should respect the fact that it's social distancing.
Everyone's in the same situation. FaceTime
100%.
exists. You might not have an iPhone. Discord exists. There's so many things you can speak to them on. I understand it's not the same as seeing them, but like...
There's not really an excuse. In my opinion, there is no excuse for going and meeting up with people in this day and age because there's so many ways that you can still stay in contact with people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's like I couldn't go and see my brother when he was like in hospital, but like what I was gonna do, I couldn't go and see my granddad when he was in hospital. I couldn't do anything.
Yeah, and it's so tough, and like I really feel for you in like situations like that. But at the end of the day, you do just have to respect the fact that this is it's one of the biggest things that's happened in a long time. This, isn't it?
Exactly.
When you think about it, like. Oh, it's mad. I want to move back to talking about YouTube for a bit, just because like we're YouTubers. There's only so long we can go without talking about YouTube. Obviously, recently you won a certain sub race against Mr. Marley Swarbs.
I did.
So obviously, very happy for you. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Was there any part of you that was like a little bit surprised by like the way it all went down and the way that your sub count ended up just going up so unpredictably?
Yes. See, at first I thought it was that Spanish lady we seen, or man.
Yeah.
We do not know if that was a man or a woman, but
I still think it was. Wait, did I think it was a man or a woman?
You thought it was a woman.
Me
and Owen were convinced it was a man.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that clip again. But
Right,
Amanda and Shah both thought that it was a woman. They both agree with me on that.
Okay, right, we cannot argue over this. I'm not on the podcast.
Go watch. Right, okay. What I want you all to do watching this right now is to go onto Sophia's channel. I'll put the timestamp in the description of the point that it is, and I want you guys to tell us: do you think that the person all dressed in gold that we met in London is a man or a woman? Right, I might whack a poll on Instagram or something as well, but I need answers because I think it was a woman.
Right.
Well, but anyway, this is very off topic. What I wanted to ask you about.
What I was gonna say.
So, how were you surprised at all?
I was very surprised because I thought it was that woman, which made kind of sense because I was getting comments in Spanish. But then you know how you can get an email from YouTube to say such and such is subscribed to your channel.
Yeah.
A lot of them was like Russian names and like Polish names and like there was names from like everywhere. So I was like,
oh, so you're international.
Yeah. So I was actually like, this isn't just the Spanish people, because like that channel had quite a few more subs than us. And I remember being like, oh yeah, you just upload and all this and that and blah blah. So
didn't you oh, what was I was about to say something. Oh yeah, didn't you? I forgot again.
Didn't you?
What was it? Mate, I forgot what I was gonna say. I remember. Didn't you have a look at some of the videos that were sort of giving you traction, and one of them was Down Like That by KSI?
Yeah, right. Okay, so there was the Down Like That video, but then there was a Reddit video which had 100%. I think it was watch time from being clicked on that.
Wow. So basically everyone was coming from one
I can't remember
video.
if it was 100% or I think it was 97 or something. I can't remember the odd figures, but yeah, so I looked on that and people were coming over from that and I was just looking at it, I was like, how is my video related to a Reddit video? The only thing that didn't add up for me was the views, but the views were going up to be fair, but they weren't going up with subscribers. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, the subscribers were going really high and the views were increasing quite a bit, but like...
But the subs were going up more than the views?
Yeah, it was
That's
really
weird. Because most of the time it's the other way around. Like, sometimes you'll have like one video that does really well that a load of people will watch, but not many people will subscribe to from that video.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they'll click on the video randomly, not because they know who you are, but rather because they're interested in what you're doing. They'll watch it for a bit and then they'll click off.
Yeah, and then some people don't even have accounts either.
Yes, well, I mean, if you don't have an account, does it still count it as a view?
I don't know.
Because otherwise, how does it know you're watching if you're not signed in?
I don't know. It's YouTube, ain't it?
Yeah, I don't know. That's probably something I should look into because I feel like as someone that's been doing YouTube for as long as I have, I feel like I don't actually know that much about the algorithm.
Yeah.
Like. A lot of the time, for me, it's the lighting on my camera is looking dreadful. By the way, like we should not have recorded this when like the sun was setting.
But, it wasn't my fault. I've been working. Leave me alone.
No, I know. Did you watch a recent video from Jack Sucks at Life where he tried to trick the algorithm into getting a video to get 1 million views?
And it didn't bang.
It didn't bang.
I was really shocked about that. It did for a bit.
It did for a bit, but it just.
That was because he was telling people to watch it.
Yeah, so it didn't keep going in the way that he expected it to though. Which Jack, in my opinion, is someone who's a genuine expert of the YouTube algorithm.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh mate, fully. Like the amount of stuff that he was talking about in that video that I just had no idea about. Like I sort of knew about the things like starting the video with big text and like doing like certain sort of like big numbers in the thumbnail and things like that. But like the stuff about like using polls in the corner, like I had no clue that increases your traction, but apparently it does.
Nor did I.
Yeah.
But to be fair, at the minute I'm just like, of course I want my videos to do well, but like that's not my main reason I want to be on YouTube. Do you know what I mean?
I get that. Yeah.
I was just like, do you know what? If it goes by the algorithm, it goes into it. But if it doesn't, then you know what? I've still uploaded. I've still made a video. People are still seeing it. People may have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
That's
so
just my whole
it's
thing.
more the idea of like trying to entertain people and just sort of like doing good. So it's like for other people rather than yourself.
Yeah, obviously I want my videos to do well, but like that's not my number one reason.
I respect that. Yeah. I mean, like when people ask me why I do YouTube, I always say it's like I always say it's 3 reasons. It's 1 because I enjoy making them. It's 2 because other people enjoy watching them, so I do it for them. And 3, it's like hopefully one day I'll be able to get a career out of it. I know seems very big from someone like me saying something like that. It seems like I'm way. It seems. Oh, be quiet. It seems like I'm way over my head saying things like that at this point. Oh, you're gonna blow up as well. Trust me. Right? Don't.
Right. Shut up. Carry on.
The whole Spanish comments and everything, and how like a lot of your audience, it didn't really seem like they were necessarily that engaged because the sub count was just going up and down and up and down, and like it didn't really seem very sort of like even and sort of like rhythmic. Are you still happy that you blew up to the point that you have now, or would you prefer to have grown like more kind of evenly and like kind of consistently through time?
Well, obviously I'm happy with it because obviously like 1k subs, that's like quite a lot.
Yeah. Oh, it's a hell of a lot. Yeah, you should be really proud.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like if you put that many people in the room, it's like whoa.
Yeah.
But I think it went down quite a bit as well because I know quite a lot of people going, oh, I'm going to sub on all my 7 accounts, and YouTube doesn't like that.
Yeah, so YouTube detects stuff like that. Which,
yeah. And then, but then the only problem I've got is I don't know how active the audience is going to be because I haven't uploaded since that's happened.
Yeah.
So, at the minute, it's like, is one of my videos going to have more views than usual, or is it going to be the same, or like, is it going to be lower? It's one of them that I can't tell just yet.
Yeah, and it is hard to judge because, like we said, the algorithm is so random that it's very hard to predict. But I think once you get back to making videos again, once everything sort of lines up for you, I reckon you could have a bright future on YouTube. And that's not just me saying that as your mate, that is me saying that genuinely.
Oh, thanks, Mr. Tom GW.
You're very welcome, Mrs. Sophia Booth.
It's like, all the videos I want to do is just outside of them.
Yeah,
so it's like,
look, trust me, once lockdown is over, and I'm saying that both to you and the audience, like, you lot are not ready for some of the videos that me and you are going to come out with.
Mate,
like, we've got a couple of cool stuff planned.
Oh, I've got a new one I need to tell you about.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I'm gonna end the podcast now. So if you want to tell me, then you can.
Right, I'll tell you after then.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much for watching. I'm extremely sorry about the lighting. I've been noticing it all the way through this podcast that the lighting, as the sun's going down right now, the lighting's not been the best. But thank you very much for listening. If you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel and also subscribing to Sophia's channel, it's linked down below. Yeah, that would be class. So thank you very much for getting this far on the podcast. And as always, I'll see you guys next time. See ya.
I just renegaded. Bye.